In the September episode, I interview Tommy Johnston, a local powerlifter who's ranked 10th in the world. Tense. He's tense. Do you ever get tense when you're doing powerlifting? Earlier this year, you were a gold medalist at the Canadian Powerlifting Union Nationals in Richmond. That's a major accomplishment. What category was that in, and what was the experience like?
So that was in the junior 105 kg weight class. So
Okay.
Junior being 19 to 23, and then 105 kg being the 231 pound weight class. The experience was super cool. It was a national level competition, so everyone from all over the country, but it was in the hometown. So it meant a lot to have it there.
You have a bunch of people cheering for you, like the family come out and stuff?
Yeah, my parents came out, and it was ended up being the first competition they ever came to as well. So it was pretty special for them to come watch. So that was awesome.
And then do you have a coach that you work with locally? Were they there as well?
So he's from Nanaimo. His name's Colton Lajeunesse, but he was there as well. He was there coaching everybody throughout the week, but also competing himself.
Oh, cool. So he walks a walk and talks a talk, so to speak.
Absolutely, yeah.
Last year, you went to Turkey to compete in the World Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships. How did it go for you there?
The day had its ups and downs. It was a experience like no other. You do a local competition, and it's not much travel. There's not much things you have to take into consideration, but you have hours on hours of flying to get to wherever you're competing, and in that case, Turkey, and different time zones, weight cuts, weight management. Just lifting in a completely different part of the world is a lot different of a ballgame.
Mm-hmm. And I guess does it throw off kind of your schedule kind of thing, like your training and eating and sleeping and all that stuff?
A little bit at first. Big factor is making sure you're down there a good amount of days in advance. So being down there about a week in advance is what everyone usually sticks to.
And then do you have a sponsorship for what you do? Like, do you get sponsored by different people, or is it all kind of paid for by yourself?
So it's mainly paid for by yourself. You can get into sponsorship opportunities, but it's usually private, just through yourself. So that's something I haven't gotten into yet, but possibly in the future.
Right on. And so how did you initially get into powerlifting?
Just years of strength training, and kind of found a sport that was revolved around strength on the squat, bench, and deadlift, and signed up for my first meet. And there was a couple other people on the coast that were into it before me, so that kind of helped a little bit as well, just to get my foot in the door. And signed up for the first meet, and guess the rest is history.
What's the next competition you're training for?
So it's the IPF Junior World Championships on September 2nd in Cluj-Napoca, Romania.
Do powerlifters have seasons? Do you ever take a break from training, or is it year-round?
It's for the most part year-round. I mean, it's a continuous goal of just trying to get stronger throughout the year. There's certain periods in your training where you're not trying to push as hard and just taking more time to recover. For example, like the first few weeks after a competition, you're usually resting a bit more. But for the most part, you're training pretty hard year-round.
Do powerlifters end up that world's strongest man stuff? Is that pretty? Do powerlifters typically go into that sport, or is that from all different sports?
Well, strongman and powerlifting, it's two separate sports, but there are some high-level strongmen that compete at the World's Strongest Man event that they were in powerlifting before, and powerlifting just led them into strongman. So
what was it like growing up on the Sunshine Coast? Were you originally from here?
No, I was born here, and then shortly after I was born, me and my parents and sister, we moved to New Zealand until I was 5. Then we moved back, and I've grown up here since I was 5. And growing up here was cool. Well,
I remember watching you play hockey with my boys. I remember you were a pretty good hockey player as well. You're also the new owner of Sluggers Gym in Gibsons, BC. How did that come about?
So I started out there as a member back in 2015, 2016 maybe. And I just always thought, watching Mel own the gym, I just thought owning a gym would be like the coolest thing ever. And then, 6-7 years down the road, he had it for sale and the opportunity came up, and I decided to bite on it.
So, Tommy, how are you looking at putting your own spin on the business?
Yeah, so we're looking at down the road, hopefully soon though, changing the name just to give it a bit of a more unique feel for myself. Okay. And bringing in a younger demos again, younger kids in high school into the gym more and into the fitness industry more, and then more access for the members as well throughout the day.
Well, I know you've gone to a 24-hour access, right? That just started today, didn't it?
Yeah, that's just starting today and tomorrow.
That's great that you're, attracting a younger demographic and working with the high school students and that kind of thing. But with us being kind of an older demographic, I think we're the second oldest in BC. Have you got anything planned for kind of your, say, more senior members?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have a lot of plans to help bring more senior people into the gym and get them more active in the fitness industry as well.
Awesome. So like more like age appropriate training and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
And you've made some tweaks to the equipment. You were saying that you've kind of got everything you think that people would need now?
Yeah, for the most part, there's a couple things I definitely want to bring in as well that aren't there right now that I'm working on. But for the most part, just upgrading some things to just some newer pieces and just giving it a bit more of a newer feel and just keeping members a bit surprised every time they come in.
Yeah, awesome. And you've got some trainers that work out of the gym, yeah? Have you got a couple of them? Or?
Yeah, so there's Mary Shaw and Michaela Custance. They both run their own personal training companies, and they have a great selection of members that they train in the gym, and they're awesome people, awesome trainers, and yeah, they're there pretty much every day throughout the week.
It's totally a value add there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just shifting gears a little bit, what's taking up more of your time right now? Is it running the business or is it training? Or
I would probably say running the gym for sure. I mean, the training takes up a lot of my time, but as far as in the gym, the training only takes up a certain amount of time to actually do the physical work in the gym. But actually building the business, like that's taking a lot more of my time when I'm there and when I'm at home, and it's just around the clock with that for sure. So definitely the gym.
How would so anyone interested in following kind of the updates or the changes you're making, is it Instagram kind of the platform that you post most of your stuff on? Or?
Yeah, for following up on like updates and everything, Instagram would be the best place to look, because we're posting there every day, every week. Lots of updates there, so that'd be the best place to go. Awesome.
I'm sure we'll have links for your Insta in this. But I just want to say thanks very much for coming on the podcast, and it's so good to see a young man like yourself doing well and being a success story for buying a business in BC. And I wish you nothing but the best. And anyone interested in stepping up and maybe giving some sponsorship or that kind of stuff to Tommy Johnston for his powerlifting, there'll be some contact information in the link of this video. So thanks very much, Tommy. It's good to see you, man.
You as well.
The Bank of Canada announces its interest rate tomorrow. Unfortunately, we record this in late August, so we don't know what the announcement will be. In all likelihood, they're not going to decrease the rate. I would think they would hold it or raise it a quarter point. Tony, what does it mean for the local market for each of those scenarios?
Yeah, good question. I think if the rate does go up, it's going to result in prices continuing to soften. People that are qualified at a certain interest rate, if the rate goes up, they're going to be qualified for less money, and so therefore, if you're trying to sell your house, the pool of potential buyers will shrink. And you may want to have a conversation with the real estate agent and adjust your listing price accordingly, so that you're still, attracting the buyers that you were trying to sell to pre-rate increase.
What if the Bank of Canada decides to hold the rate? Is that a negative factor or a neutral factor if that happens?
I think last time that they held the rate, because it was, they did one or two rate increases and they held the rate, that created a little bit of a rally because people were like, we're through it now. It's going to, get back to ridiculously low interest rates. But the way I see it now, I think that, where we are is probably going to be in play for a prolonged period of time, couple of years. And so, the age of free money is kind of over, and this is a new reality. So whether it, goes up a quarter point or a half point, then that's kind of what money's going to cost to borrow for the foreseeable future, and that's going to become the new norm. I personally don't think, prediction, that they are going to hold it. I think we're going to see a quarter point increase, but even if they don't, I don't think that anyone's going to be rallying to get out and buy as quickly as possible, because I think that the 6.5% interest rate's kind of the new normal, or in that range.
Tony, as we move into fall, what do you have on the market for September?
Coming on September, well, we have a beautiful new listing. It's 2.5 acres on Reed Road. Beautiful main house. I think it's just over 2,000 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath. And then there's 3 cottages on the property and an RV pad. So plenty of room there. Great location. Walk to Sunnycrest Mall. Walk to the IGA Plaza, to the, to Sluggers Gym, or whatever it's going to be called in the future. That's a great offering there. Listed just over 2.2 million, and good revenue potential there, and really lends itself to being a multi-generational property, as we were talking about before. We have another one, 729 Winn Road, which is just down across from the library in Lower Gibsons. Upstairs, downstairs split, 2 suites. Great walkability there. Potential for rezoning to a commercial live work. Have to talk to the town of Gibsons for that, but that one is a great opportunity. That one ready for a quick possession. So if you're interested in parking some money, that would be a good option, or buying somewhere and having a mortgage helper. Where there is a big demand on the coast still for long-term rentals. We got 426 Aldersprings, which is another nice offering down in the Bay Area. Some revenue potential on that one, right next to the new pizza restaurant, and good revenue potential as well there. And then we have one, which is Unit 5, 554 Eaglecrest Drive. We did just get an accepted offer on that one today. Surprise! But it is a subject to sale. So hopefully for the seller, it's all done by the time this comes to air. But it could still be available. So check out the website, and there'll be that, and probably by then a few more up-to-date listings as well.
I want to circle back to Reed Road. There's the house that was like top to bottom renovated, I think just in the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. There's the cabins, but there's also, I think, like only a year-old shop.
Oh, it's a gorgeous shop. I think it's 800 square feet. Yeah. Fully decked out.
Concrete floor, a mezzanine inside for storage or another workspace. And then the exterior of the building, it's covered. It's like 2 carports on either side. Mm-hmm. So it's a really nice space. If a person had a classic car they wanted to store, or they wanted a workshop or something like that, that's a excellent spot. And you're also really close to town. That's kind of, I think, the only acreage I've shot in the last however many years that you could legitimately walk to Gibsons from the acreage.
Yeah, walk through Parkland, all the new sidewalks and everything there. Right, and go play tennis or pickleball in that subdivision. So yeah, it's really, you get the best of both worlds there. You get the acreage, you get the privacy, the rural feel, but still you're 5 minutes away from town. And 8 minutes from the ferry. So if you need to head into Vancouver, you can do that too. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. While you're here, maybe you want to check out one of my listings or watch my video about why you should choose me to sell your home.